Support for the priests and Levites. The Lord gave these further instructions to Aaron. I myself have put you in charge of all the holy offerings that brought me to the people of Israel. I am giving all these consecrated offerings to you and your sons as a permanent share. You are allotted the portion of the most holy offerings that is not buried on the fire. This portion of all the most holy offerings, including the grain offering, sin offering, and guilt offering, will be most holy and belongs to you and your sons. You must eat it as a holy offering. All the males must eat it, and you must treat it as most holy. All the sacred offerings and special offerings presented to me when the Israelites lifted them up before the altar also belong to you. I have given them to you and your sons and daughters as a permanent share. Any member of your family who is ceremonially clean may eat any of these offerings. I am also giving you a harvest gift brought by the people as offerings to the Lord, the best olive oil, new wine, and grain, all the first crops of their land that the people present to the Lord belong to you. Any member of your family who is ceremonially clean may eat this food. Everything in Israel that is specially set apart from the Lord also belongs to you. The firstborn of every mother, whether human or animal, that is offered to the Lord will be yours. But you must always redeem your firstborn sons and the firstborn of ceremonially unclean animals. Redeem them when they are 1 month old. The redemption price is 5 pieces of silver, as measured of the sanctuary shekel, which is 20 gerahs, equals 20 gerahs. However, you may redeem the firstborn of cattle, sheep, or goats. They are holy and have been set apart from the Lord. Sprinkle their blood on the altar and burn their fat as a special gift, a pleasing aroma to the Lord. The meat of these animals will be yours, just like the breast and right thigh that are presented by lifting them as a special offering before the altar. Yes, I am giving you all these holy offerings that the people of Israel brought to the Lord. They are for you and your sons and daughters to be eaten as a permanent share between the Lord and you. It also applies to your descendants. And the Lord said to Aaron, your priests will receive no allotment of land or share or property among the people of Israel. I am your share and your allotment. As for the tribe of Levi, your relatives, I will compensate them for their service in the tabernacle. Instead of an allotment of land, I give them the tithes from the entire land of Israel. From now on, no Israelites, except priests of Levites, may approach the tabernacle. If they come too near, they will be judged guilty and they will die. Only the Levites may serve at the tabernacle, and they will be held responsible for any offense against it. That is a permanent law for you to be observed from generation to generation. The Levites will receive no allotment of land among the Israelites, because I have given them the Israelite tithes, which have been presented as sacred offerings to the Lord. This will be the Levites' share. That is why I say they will receive no allotment of land among the Israelites. The Lord also told Moses, give these instructions to the Levites. When you receive from the people of Israel the tithes I have assigned as your allotment, give a tenth of the tithes you receive, a tithe for a tithe, to the Lord as a sacred offering. The Lord will consider this offering to be your harvest offering, as though it were the first grain from your offering of your own threshing floor, or wine from your own winepress. You must present 1/10 of the tithe received from the Israelites as a sacred offering to the Lord. This is the Lord's sacred portion, and you must present it to Aaron the priest. Be sure to give the Lord the best portions of the gift given to you. Also give these instructions to the Levites. When you present the best part of your offering, it will be considered as though it came from your own threshing floor or winepress. You Levites and your family may eat this food anywhere you wish, for it is compensation for serving in the tabernacle. You will not be considered guilty for accepting the Lord's tithes if you give the best portion to the priests, but be careful not to treat the holy gifts of the people of Israel as though they were common. If you do, you will die. Okay, the water purification. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, here is another legal requirement commanded by the Lord. Tell the people of Israel to bring you a red heifer, a perfect animal that has no defects and has never been yoked to the plow. Give it to Eleazar the priest, and it will be taken outside the camp and slaughtered in his presence. Eleazar will take some of its blood on his finger and sprinkle it 7 times toward the front of the tabernacle. As Eleazar watches, the heifer must be burned, its hide, meat, and dung. Eleazar the priest must then take a stick of cedar, a hyssop branch, and some scarlet yarn and throw them into the fire where the heifer is burning. Then the priest must wash his clothes and bathe himself in water. Afterwards, he must return to the camp, though he will remain ceremonially unclean until evening. The man who burns the animal must also wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and he too will remain unclean until evening. Then someone who is ceremonially clean will gather up the ashes of the heifer and deposit them in the purified place outside the camp. They will be kept there for the community of Israel to use in the water for the purification ceremony. This ceremony is performed for the removal of sin. The man who gathers up the ashes of the heifer must also wash his clothes, and he will remain ceremonially unclean until evening. This is a permanent law for the people of Israel and any foreigners who live among them. All those who touch a dead body will be ceremonially unclean for 7 days. They must purify themselves on the 3rd and the 7th day with the water of purification. Then they will be purified. But if they do not do this on the 3rd and 7th day, they will continue to be unclean even after the 7th day. All those who touch a dead body and do not purify themselves in the proper way defile the Lord's tabernacle, and they will be cut off from the community of Israel, since the water of purification was not sprinkled on them. Their defilement continues. This is the ritual law that applies when someone dies inside a tent. All those who enter the tent and those who were inside when the death occurred will be ceremonially unclean for 7 days. Any open container in the tent that was not covered with a lid is also defiled. And if someone is in an open field touches the corpse of someone who was killed with a sword or who died a natural death, or if someone who touches a human bone or a grave, that person would be defiled for 7 days. To remove the defilement, put some of the ashes from the burnt purification offering in a jar and pour fresh water over them. Then a person who is ceremonially clean must take a hyssop branch and dip it into the water. That person must sprinkle the water on the tent, on all furnishings in the tent, and the people who were in the tent, also on the person who touched a human bone, or touched someone who was killed or who died naturally, or touched a grave. On the 3rd and 7th day, the person who was ceremonially clean must sprinkle the water on those who were defiled. Then on the 7th day, the people must be cleansed. The people being cleansed must wash their clothes and bathe themselves, and then on evening they will be cleansed of their defilement. But those who become defiled and do not purify themselves will be cut off from the community, for they have defiled the sanctuary of the Lord. Since the water of purification has not been sprinkled on them, they must be defiled. This is a permanent law for people. Those who sprinkle the water of purification must afterwards wash their clothes, and anyone who touches the water using the purification will remain defiled until evening. Anything and anyone that a defiled person touches will be ceremonially unclean until evening. Moses strikes the rock. Oh, this is popular. In the first month of the year, the whole community of Israel arrives in the wilderness of Zin and camped at Kadesh, where they were. Miriam died and was buried. There was no water for the people to drink at that place, so they rebelled against Moses and Aaron. The people blamed Moses and said, "If only we had died in the Lord's presence with our brothers. Why have you brought the congregation of the Lord's people into the wilderness to die, along with all their livestock? Why did you make us leave Egypt and bring us here to this terrible place? This land has no grain, no figs, no grapes, no pomegranates, and no water to drink." Moses and Aaron turned away from the people, and they went to the entrance of the tabernacle, and they fell face down on the ground. Then the glorious presence of the Lord appeared to them. And the Lord said to Moses, "You and Aaron must take the staff and assemble the entire community as the people watch. Speak to the rock over there, and it will pour out its water. You will provide enough water from the rock to satisfy the whole community and their livestock." So Moses did as he was told. He took the staff from the place where it was kept before the Lord. Then he and Aaron summoned the people to come and gather at the rock. "Listen, you rebels," he shouted. We must bring you water from this rock. Then Moses raised his hand and struck the rock twice with his staff, and water gushed out. So the entire community and their livestock drank their fill. But the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Because you did not trust me enough to demonstrate your holiness to the people of Israel, you will not lead them into the land I am giving them." This place was known as the waters of Meribah, which means arguing, because there the people of Israel argued with the Lord, and there he demonstrated his holiness among them. Wait, I'm sorry, I'm a little confused. Wait, I don't understand. Okay. Edom refused Israel passage. When Moses was at Kadesh, he sent ambassadors to the king of Edom with this message. This is what your relatives, the people of Israel, say. You know all the hardships we have been through. Our ancestors went down to Egypt, and we lived there a long time. And we and our ancestors were brutally mistreated by the Egyptians. But when we cried out to the Lord, he heard us and sent an angel who brought us out of Egypt. Now we are camped at Kadesh, a town on the border of your land. Please let us travel through your land, and we will be careful not to go through the fields and the vineyards. We won't even drink water from your wells. We will stay at the king's road and never leave until we have passed your territory. But the king of Edom said, Stay out of my land, or I will meet you with an army. The Israelites answered, We will stay on the main road. If your livestock drinks your water, we will pay for it. Just let us pass through your country. That's all we ask. But the king of Edom replied, Stay out. You may not pass through our land. With that, he mobilized his army and marched out again with an imposing force. Because Edom refused to allow Israel to pass through their country, Israel was forced to turn around. The death of Aaron. The whole community of Israel left Kadesh and arrived at Mount Hor. There, at the border of the land of Edom, the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, The time has come for Aaron to join his ancestors in death. He will not enter the land I am giving the people of Israel, because the two of you rebelled against my instructions concerning the water of Meribah. And now take Aaron and his son Eleazar up Mount Hor. There you will remove Aaron's priestly garments and put them on Eleazar his son. Aaron will die there and join his ancestors. So Moses did as the Lord had commanded. The three of them went up Mount Hor together as the whole community watched at the summit. Moses removed the priestly garments from Aaron and put them on Eleazar, Aaron's son. Then Aaron died there on the top of the mountain, and Moses and Eleazar went back down. When all the people realized that Aaron had died, all Israel mourned for him for 30 days. Victory over the Canaanites. The Canaanite king of Arad, who lived at Negev, heard the Israelites were approaching on the road of Hitharim. So he attacked the Israelites and took some of them as prisoners. Then the people of Israel made this vow to the Lord: If you hand these people over to us, we will completely destroy all their towns. The Lord heard the Israelites' requests, and he gave them victory over the Canaanites. The Israelites completely destroyed them and their towns, and the place had been called Hormah ever since. The bronze snake. Then the people of Israel set out from Mount Hor, taking the road of the Red Sea, to go around the land of Edom. But the people grew impatient with the long journey, and they began to speak against God and Moses. Why have you brought us out of Egypt to die here in the wilderness? They complained. There is nothing to eat and nothing to drink, and we hate this horrible manna. So the Lord sent poisonous snakes among the people, and many were bitten, and they died. Then the people came to Moses and cried out, We have sinned by speaking against the Lord and against you. Pray that the Lord will take away the snakes. So Moses prayed for the people. Then the Lord told him, Make a replica of a poisonous snake and attach it to a pole. All those who are bitten will live if they simply look at it. So Moses... make a replica of a poisonous snake and attach it to a pole. All who are bitten will live if they simply look at it. So Moses made a snake out of bronze and attached it to the pole. Then anyone who was bitten by a snake could look at the bronze snake and be healed. Israel's journey to Moab. The Israelites traveled next to Oboth and camped there. Then they went to Iyer-Baram in the wilderness on the eastern border of Moab. From there they set up the valley of Zered Brook and set up camp. Then they moved out and camped on the far side of the Arnon River in the wilderness of the adjacent territory of the Amorites. The Arnon is the boundary line between the Moabites and the Amorites. For this reason, the book of Wars of the Lord speaks of the town of Waheb in the area of Supah, and the ravens of the Arnon River, and the ravens that extend as far as the settlement of Ar on the border of Moab. From there the Israelites traveled to Beer, which is a well where the Lord said to Moses, Assemble the people, and I will give them a water. Then the Israelites sang this song, Spring up, O well, yes, sing its praises. Sing of this well, which princes dug, which great leaders hollowed out with their scepters and staffs. Then the Israelites left the wilderness and proceeded on through Matana, Nahil, and Baamath. After that, they went through the valley of Moab, where Pigah Peak overlooked the wasteland. Victory over Sihon and Og. The Israelites sent ambassadors to the king Sihon of Amorites with this message: Let us travel through your land. We will be careful not to go through your fields and your vineyards. We will not drink from your wells. We will stay on the king's road until we have passed their territory. But King Sihon refused to let them cross his territory. Instead, he mobilized his entire army and attacked Israel in the wilderness, engaging them in battle at Jahaz. But the Israelites slaughtered them with their swords and occupied their land from Arnon River to the Jabbok River. They went only as far as the Ammonite border because the boundary of Ammonites was fortified. So Israel captured all the towns of the Amorites and settled in them, including the city of Heshbon and the surrounding villages. The Heshbon had been the capital of King Sihon of the Amorites. He had defeated a former Moabite king and seized all his land as far as Arnon River. Therefore, the ancient poet wrote this about him: Come to Heshbon and let it be rebuilt. Let the city of Sihon be restored. A fire flamed forth from Heshbon, a flame from the city of Sihon. It burned the city of Ar in Moab. It destroyed the rulers of the Arnon heights. What sorrow awaits you, O people of Moab? You are finished, O worshippers of Chemosh. Chemosh has left his sons at refuge. His daughters are captive of Sihon the Amorite king. We have utterly destroyed them from Heshbon to Dibon. We have completely wiped them out as far as Nopah and Medeba. So the people of Israel occupied the territory of the Amorites. After Moses sent men to explore the Jazer area, they captured all the towns of the region and drove out the Amorites who lived there. Then they turned and marched up the road to Bashan. But the king of Og and Bashan and all the people attacked them at Edrei. The Lord said to Moses, Do not be afraid of him, for I have handed him over to you, along with all his people and his land. Do the same to him as you did to King Sihon and the Amorites who ruled in Heshbon. And Israel the king Og, his sons, and all his subjects, not a single survivor remained. Then Israel occupied their land. Conquering lots of land, I see. Balak sends for Balaam. Then the people of Israel traveled to the place of Moab and camped east of the Jordan River across Jericho. Balak, son of Zippor and Moabite king, had seen everything the Israelites did to the Amorites, and when the people of Moab saw how many Israelites were there, they were terrified. The king of Moab said to the elders of Midian, This mob will devour everything in sight like an ox devours grass in the field. So Balak, king of Moab, sent messengers to call Balaam, son of Beor, who was living in his native land of Pethor near the Euphrates River. His message said, Look, a vast horde of people have arrived from Egypt. They cover the face of the earth and are threatening me. Please come and curse these people for me because they are too powerful for me. Then perhaps I'll be able to conquer them and drive them away from the land. I know that blessings fall on any people you bless and curses fall on any people you curse. Balak's messengers, who were elders of Moab and Midian, set out with money to pay Balaam to place a curse upon Israel. They went to Balaam and delivered Balak's message to him. Stay here overnight, Balaam said. In the morning I will tell you whatever the Lord directs me to say. So the officials from Moab stayed out there with Balaam. That night the Lord came to Balaam and asked him, Who are these men visiting you? Balaam said to God, Balak, son of Zippor, king of Moab, has sent me this message. Look, a vast horde of people have arrived from Egypt, and they cover the face of the earth. Come and curse these people for me. Then perhaps I will be able to stand up to them and drive them out of the land. But God told Balaam, Do not go with them. You are not to curse these people, for they have been blessed. The next morning Balaam got up and told Balak's officials, Go home. The Lord will not let me go with you. So the Moabite officials returned to King Balak and reported, Balaam refused to come with us. Then Balak tried again. This time he sent a larger number of even more distinguished officials than those he had ever sent the first time. They went to Balaam and delivered this message to him. This is what Balak, son of Zippor, says. Please don't let anything stop you from coming to help me. I will pay you very well and do whatever you tell me. Just come and curse these people for me. But Balaam responded to Balak's messengers. Even if Balak were to give me his palace filled with silver and gold, I would be powerless to do anything against the will of the Lord my God. But stay here one more night, and I will see if the Lord has anything else to say to me. That night God came to Balaam and told him, Since the men have come for you, get up and go with them, but do only what I tell you to do. Balaam and his donkey. So the next morning Balaam got up, saddled his donkey, and started off with the Moabite officials. But God was angry with Balaam that Balaam was going. So he sent the angel of the Lord to stand in the road to block his way. As Balaam and 2 servants were riding along, Balaam's donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with a drawn sword in his hand. The donkey bolted off the road into a field, but Balaam beat it and turned its back onto the road. Then the angel of the Lord stood at a place where the road narrowed between 2 vineyard walls. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, it tries to squeeze it by crushing Balaam's foot against the wall. So Balaam beat the donkey again. Then the angel of the Lord moved further down the road and stood at a place too narrow for the donkey to get by at all. This time when the donkey saw the angel, it lay down under Balaam. In a fit of rage, Balaam beat the animal under with its staff. Then the Lord said to the donkey, gave the donkey the ability to speak. What have I done to you that deserves your beating me 3 times? It asked Balaam. You have made me look like a fool, Balaam shouted. If I had a sword with me, I would kill you. But I am the same donkey you have ridden all your life, the donkey answered. Have I ever done anything like this before? No, Balaam admitted. Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the roadway with a drawn sword in its hand. Balaam bowed his head and fell face down on the ground before him. Why did you beat your donkey those 3 times? The angel of the Lord demanded. Look, I have come to block your way because you are stubbornly resisting me. 3 times the donkey saw me and sheed away. Otherwise I would have certainly killed you by now and spared the donkey. Then Balaam confessed to the angel of the Lord, I have sinned. I didn't realize you were standing in the road to block my way. I will return home if you are against me going. But the angel of the Lord told Balaam, Go with these men, but only do what I tell you to say. So Balaam went on with Balak's officials. When King Balak heard that Balaam was on his way, he went out to meet him at the Moabite town of Arnon River at the farthest border of his land. Didn't I send you an urgent invitation? Why didn't you come right away? Balak asked Balaam. Didn't you believe me when I said I would reward you richly? Balaam replied, Look, now I have come, but I have no power to say whatever I want. I will speak only the message that God puts in my mouth. Then Balaam accompanied Balak to Kiriath Hazath, where the king sacrificed cattle and sheep. He sent portions of meat to Balaam and the officials who were with him. The next morning Balak took Balaam up to Bamoth Baal, for there he could see some of his people of Israel spread out before him. Okay. Balaam blesses Israel. Then Balaam said to King Balak, Build me 7 altars here and prepare 7 young bulls and 7 rams for me to sacrifice. Balak followed his instructions, and the 2 of them sacrificed a young bull and a ram on each altar. Then Balaam said to Balak, Stand here by your burnt offerings, and I will see if the Lord has responded to me. Then I will tell you whatever he reveals to me. So Balaam went alone on top of the bare hill, and God met him there. Balaam said to him, I have prepared 7 altars, and I have sacrificed a young bull and a ram on each altar. The Lord said to Balaam, a message for the king Balak. Then he said, Go back to Balak and give him my message. So Balaam returned and found the king standing beside his burnt offering with all the officials of Moab. This was the message Balaam delivered. Balak summoned me to come from Aram. The king of Moab brought from the eastern hills. Come, he said, curse Jacob for me. Come and announce to Israel's doom. But how can I curse those whom God has not cursed? How can I condemn those who the Lord has not condemned? I see them from the cliff tops. I watch them from the hills. I see people who live by themselves, set apart from the other nations. Who can count Jacob's descendants as numerous as dust? Who can count even a fourth of Israel's people? Let me die like the righteous. Let their lives end like let my life end like theirs. Then King Balak demanded at Balaam, "What have you done to me? I have brought you to curse my enemies. Instead you have blessed them." But Balaam replied, "I will speak only the message the Lord has put in my mouth." Balaam's second message. Then King Balak told him, "Come with me to another place. There you will see another part of the nation of Israel, but not all of them. Curse at least that many." So Balak took Balaam at the plateau of Zophim of Pigah Peak. He built 7 altars there and offered a young bull and a ram on each altar. Then Balaam said to the king, "Stand here by the burnt offering while I go over to meet the Lord." Then the Lord said to Balaam, then the Lord met Balaam and gave him a message. Then he said, "Go back to Balak and give him my message." So Balaam returned and found the king standing beside his burnt offerings with all the officials of Moab. "What did the Lord say?" Balak asked eagerly. This was what the message Balaam delivered. "Rise up, Balak, and listen. Hear me, son of Zippor. God is not a man, so he does not lie. He is not human, so he does not change his mind. Has he spoken and failed to act? Has he ever promised and not carried it through? Listen, I have received a command to bless. God has blessed, and I cannot reverse it. No misfortune is in his plan for Jacob. No trouble is in store for Israel. For the Lord their God is with them. He has been proclaimed their king. God brought them out to Egypt. For them he is as strong as a wild ox. No curse can touch Jacob. No magic has the power against Israel. For now it will be said of Jacob, 'What wonders God has done for Israel.' These people rise up like a lioness, like a majestic lion rousing itself. They refuse to rest until they have feasted on their prey, drinking the blood of the slaughtered." Then Balak said to Balaam, "Fine, but if you won't curse them, at least don't bless them." But Balaam replied to Balak, "Didn't I tell you that I can only do what the Lord tells me?" Balaam's third message. The king Balak said to Balaam, "Come, I will take you to one more place. Perhaps it will please the God to let you curse them from there." So Balak took Balaam to the top of Mount Peor, looking over the wasteland. Balaam again told Balak, "Build me 7 altars and prepare 7 young bulls and 7 rams for me to sacrifice." So Balak did as Balaam ordered and offered a young bull and a ram for each altar. By now, Balaam realized that the Lord was determined to bless Israel, so he did not resort to divination as before. Instead, he turned and looked out towards the wilderness. When he saw the people of Israel camped tribe by tribe, then the Spirit of God came upon them, and this is the message he delivered. This is the message of Balaam, son of Beor, the message of a man whose eyes see clearly, the message of one who hears the words of God, who sees the vision from the Almighty, who bows down with eyes wide open. "How beautiful are your tents, O Jacob! How lovely are your homes, O Israel! They spread before me like palm groves, like gardens from the riverside. They are like tall trees planted by the Lord, like cedars beside the water. Water will flow from their buckets, like offsprings have all they need. Their king will be greater than Agag. Their kingdom will be exalted. God brought them out of Egypt. For them he is as strong as a wild ox. He devours all the nations that oppose him, breaking their bones in pieces, shooting like arrows. Like a lion, Israel crouches and lies down, like a lioness. Who dares to arouse her? Blessed is everyone who blesses you, O Israel, and cursed is everyone who curses you." Okay. King Balak flew into a rage against Balaam. He angrily clapped his hands and shouted, "I have called you to curse my enemies. Instead, you have blessed them 3 times. Now get out of here. Go back home. I promise not to reward you richly, but the Lord has kept you from your reward." Balaam told Balak, "Don't you remember what I told your messengers? Even if Balak were to give me his palace filled with silver and gold, I would be powerless to anything that the will of the Lord. I told you that I could say only what the Lord says. Now I am returning to my own people, but first let me tell you what the Israelites will do to your people in the future." Balaam's final message. This is the final message Balaam delivered. This is the message of Balaam, son of Beor, the message of the man whose eyes see clearly, the message of those who hears the words of God, who has knowledge of the Most High, who have seen visions from the Almighty, who bows down with eyes wide open. I see him. But not here and now. I perceived him, but far in the distant future. A star will rise from Jacob, a scepter will emerge from Israel. It will crush the heads of the Moab people, cracking and skulls of the people of Sheth. Edom will take over, and Seir, its enemies, will be conquered, while Israel marches on triumph. A ruler will rise in Jacob, who will destroy the survivors of Ir. Then Balaam looked over towards the people of Amalek and delivered this message. Amalek was the greatest nation with its destiny but its destiny is destruction. Then he looked over towards the Kenites and delivered this message. Your home is secure, your nest is set in the rocks, but the Kenites will be destroyed when Assyria takes you captive. Balaam concluded his message by saying, Alas, who can survive unless God has willed it? Ships will come from coasts of Cyprus. They will oppress Assyria and afflict Eber, but they too will be utterly destroyed. Then Balaam left and returned home, and Balak also went on his way.